What's up, guys? Chris back again. Give a couple predictions on this upcoming weekend's boxing HBO pay-per-view, headlined by Erik Morales versus Marcos Maidana. When this fight was made, not a lot of people are high on it. I'm still not. I'm seeing a little bit more fans coming around to it as it draws near, particularly longtime Erik Morales fans. But even as it gets closer, there's no doubt in my mind, that this, in my opinion, is not necessarily a pay-per-view caliber headliner. However, there is a solid fight on the undercard, and that will be the first one I'm talking about. Also, Paulie Malignaggi is on the undercard as well. He's taking on Miguel Cotto's brother, Jose Miguel Cotto, but I don't know. I don't expect a whole lot out of that fight, in all honesty. You also got James Kirkland on the undercard, who is going against what I'm sure is a nondescript opponent that he'll probably decimate within under 2 rounds, most likely. But, those are at least recognizable names on the undercard. The first big fight, I guess, noteworthy one on the co-main event would be for the WBO WBA lightweight title, Robert the Ghost Guerrero taking on Michael Katsidis. This is a fight that was supposed to happen last year. One of the fighters had to withdraw. I don't remember if it was Robert Guerrero because of his wife's ongoing health issues, or if it was Katsidis because of an injury or something. But the fight was didn't go down, but either way, Guerrero ended up fighting Vicente Escobedo and beating him by decision. And Michael Katsidis went on to fight Juan Manuel Marquez in one of the better fights of last year. Sure, he lost. It was a losing effort, but he did knock Juan Manuel Marquez down in what I believe was a fifth round. Hurt him pretty bad, and gave a good account of himself, even losing the fight. Great fight, action fight. One of the best fights of last year. So, just built more anticipation for this bout, to finally take place. Who do I favor in this one and why? Robert Guerrero's a guy that people have been on him for quite a while now, ever since back when he was fighting at featherweight. And I've always, been interested watching him fight, seeing how he performs. But I never thought, or I don't believe that he's quite reached that level that people thought he would. Obviously the guy, is a solid fighter. He's only got one defeat. But I just don't know if he's ever reached that echelon, or if he's ever going to develop into the fighter that people had such high hopes for. On the other end, Katsidis, I think he's almost an overachiever in a way. When we first heard about him, he had that fight against, I believe it was Hassan, with an absolute war. People thought he was just going to be, well, similar to Arturo Gatti, but maybe not as good. Blood and guts warrior fighter, but he's kind of gotten a little bit more well-rounded as a boxer, not just a head-first brawler. Getting a little bit more technical. Looked so in defeating Kevin Mitchell last year. At times, as I said, had success against Juan Manuel Marquez, but, didn't win. But who does beat Juan Manuel Marquez? Not very many fighters, particularly at this stage of his career. As for who I favor in this fight, I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I think it'll be pretty entertaining. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the best fight on the card. In all honesty, I expect it to, as do I think a lot of fellow boxing fans. But I'm going to favor Michael Katsidis. And the reason why is, I know Robert Guerrero had that fight with Dawood Jordan, and he got the cut. And, a lot of people still say he quit in that fight. Regardless of what the reason was, the fight ended because of the cut. And I don't know if that is necessarily an indictment on his mental strength or his psychological, his psychological, I guess you would say, or mind state or whatever, when the going gets tough in the ring. But going up against Michael Katsidis in what could possibly be a dogfight, a real war, that's a guy that I have no questions about. No questions about whether or not. His brother died a few weeks before the Marquez fight and still went on with it. He got injured in this training camp, still went on with the fight. So I don't question Michael Katsidis' will in there and his mental toughness. And if this goes to be a dogfight, I think that's what it's going to come down to. I don't think either has a huge edge in skill or anywhere in particular in their repertoire of the other. So if it becomes a battle of wills, as I expect, I'm definitely going to go with the proven commodity in my eyes, and that's Michael Katsidis. Obviously, Robert Guerrero can win this fight, can outbox. I don't think he can outslug Katsidis, but you never know. Pretty solid fighter. But I'm going to favor Michael Katsidis. I think it'll probably go the distance, unless somehow it ends on cuts. But I see it going the distance. I don't know if Katsidis quite has. He does have some solid power, but I don't know if he has the power to take out Robert Guerrero. I think it'll go the distance, so most likely all 12 rounds. Um, Back and forth, but I don't think it's going to be one-sided by any means. But I'm going to favor Michael Conceitas to end up winning a close decision in this one, and what, like I said, should be a really exciting fight. Main event of the night, you got Erik Morales, the great Erik Morales, taking on Marcos Maidana. Morales retired a while back, came back, had some wins. I guess his most notable fight on his comeback trail has been the close loss to David Diaz at lightweight for the title. Since then, he's got a couple wins over some nondescript opposition. Most notably, his last fight, he got a unanimous decision over Francisco Lorento. As for Marcos Maidana, been on the radar ever since, stopping Victor Ortiz. Then he had the disappointing but winning performance against Marcus Chop Chop Corley. Last fight, Amir Khan fight, one of the best fights once again of last year. He ended up losing, but he got knocked down in the first round, and it looked like it was going to be over from there. I really thought, I was like, I can't believe that Amir Khan's going to knock out Marcos Maidana in the first round. If anything, I thought it was going to go the other way around, if that was a possibility. But to Maidana's credit, he got up, continued the fight. Khan dominated early and mid rounds, but then Maidana came on strong late and really closed the fight hard. Khan was definitely in a survival mode the last few rounds of that fight. But he was able to survive, and hang another loss on Marcos Maidana in a close fight. As for this one, I know Erik Morales is a great fighter, but it's clear that his best days are behind him. I mean, it's obvious. Also, the weight, this fight, 140, that's not a good weight for Marquez in my opinion, or Morales in my opinion. I believe even now, even as older, I think his prime or his optimum weight would be 135. He's just going in there with the guy that, I was watching the old Pacquiao Marquez one fight, or Morales. Why do I keep saying Marquez, man? Pacquiao Morales one fight the other day. Morales looked great in it, but that was like 2005, man. That was 6 years ago. When I think about this fight, all I can think about is the third fight between Pacquiao and Morales, and how Morales kind of went down and just never even attempted to get up after the last knockdown, so. And I can see more of the same happening here. Maidana's the fresher fighter, the bigger fighter naturally, the much stronger fighter, the harder hitter. Morales, I'm sure he still has an edge in technique, but his reflexes have slowed down. I believe his ability to sustain in a firefight, I believe that's worn down as well. I don't imagine he's as hungry as a fighter as he once was. Sure, he's still the warrior that he's always been, but it's only going to carry you so far in boxing. Unfortunately, in all sports, the greats have their best days are eventually are behind them, and I think that's the case for Morales here. I'm sure I could see him winning around here or there, but for the most part, I think this is going to be a pretty one-sided fight. I think Maidana's going to come out strong and really just look to take it to Erik Morales and see if he can get him out of there early, just really put the pressure on him and really just, assault him with a barrage of the punches that Maidana is known for. He might be smart to go to the body like he did against Victor Cayo. Erik Morales, I don't know. I've always thought he was susceptible at times to body punches. Maybe that's just me, but definitely at the latter stage of his career, I think he could be vulnerable in that area. Damn phone. Just my luck, right? First my cell phone's going off, now the home phone's going off. I'm not answering, I don't care. But, yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty one-sided fight for the most part. In all honesty, I don't think it's going to the distance either. I see a technical knockout or a stoppage win here for Marcos Maidana, probably mid-rounds. I'd say 6 to 7 out of respect for Erik Morales. But I just see a one-sided fight, in all honesty, Sad to say, but that's the way it's going to be in my opinion. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this fight. Who do you think is going to win and why? Of course I want to hear your thoughts on the co-main event, in particular because I think that's a closer fight. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on whether or not you think Erik Morales actually has a chance to win this fight, and if so, how? Or if you think Maidana is going to win in a clearly one-sided fight, as I do. Talked about this fight yesterday, broke down the whole card on yesterday's Science Science Radio Show, or on Sunday's Science Science Radio Show, I should say. You can go back and check that out if you want. I'll put a link to the show in the information part of the video, as well as a link to my Twitter, as always. Once again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on these fights. And, looking forward to it, I guess. Should be exciting while it lasts, most likely, the main event. But curious to see your guys' level of interest in this fight and how you think it's going to play out. That's it for now, though. Until next time, guys, I'm out.